Shalom, this is Mary Omni.
Since our youth been selling crack since like the 5th grade, I think it's only right that we take them to school. It's history time. I truly understand we are not niggas. Minds ain't confined to where the blocks put us. What the slave master said, that's my nigga. What you modern day slaves saying, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not niggas. That's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not what they call Emmett Till when they beat him to a pope. When they call the demonstrators that was fighting the pope. When they call your great grands when they tied him to a rope. When they call your black ass when you under the scope. Niggas, that we are. Definition of a king, not a nigga by far. Niggas, rise up tall. The devil is a liar, he done lied to the gods. Use the word as a crutch, top the nose of the sphinx. But we know that it's us. Use the word as a crutch, top the nose of the sphinx. But we know that it's us. We know. I truly understand we are not niggas. Minds ain't confined to where the blocks put us. What the slave master said, that's my nigga. What you modern day slaves saying, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not niggas. That's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not niggas. Accept and listen and change the meaning of the words, still fit in the definition. Seeing racism in high definition, like Eric Garner. He was murdered with permission of the taxpayers. They was paid the commission. Killer cops. That's how you modern day lynching, nigga. They having picnics just to pick a nigga. If you rock your style, you hate yourself. Pull a trigger on your kind, you negate yourself. On earth, living behind the gates of hell. Muhammad got devil on the run, and the why Ali step a toe in the ring. Let's get it on. We warriors. They don't wanna go to war with us. Keep us divided, they know what's in store with us. If we united, they never get it on with us. We warriors. They don't wanna go to war with us. Keep us divided, they know what's in store with us. If we united, they never get it on with us. We warriors. They don't wanna go to war with us. Keep us divided, they know what's in store with us. If we united, they never get it on with us. I truly understand we are not niggas. Minds ain't confined to where the blocks put us. What the slave master said, that's my nigga. What you modern day slaves saying, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not niggas. That's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga. I truly understand we are not niggas. See, there's a difference between nigga and niggas. Blood of the kings. Let's rise to that, family. Make sure y'all pick up that book, Stevens, by Great Dickinson. Salute the Ernestine Dickinson. We are not niggas.
Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. This is a Republic Notice. The title of this Republic Notice is a question. Is the black man God? Is the black man God? In 2013, in the month of June of 2013, would a God be on the corners, flapping his gums while his nation is being devastated? On the corners quoting from the Bible, but not doing the works, having faith without works? Evidently, he don't believe he's a God. Otherwise, he would have the works to back up his faith. and he would be on the corner reading all day long while women and children are suffering. Okay? Now, is the black man God? That's a good question. But the answer lies even deeper than you can believe. And this is why it lies deeper. The black man wants to believe he's God within his own glory of his self. And the problem with that is has been willing to go through 8 captivities and to drag women and children to 8 captivities to prove he was higher than the black woman, to prove he was somehow separate, to prove he somehow stood in his own glory, to prove he somehow had some kind of masculine hierarchy over her. So is he God? Is he God because he's willing to go into 8 captivities to prove he's separate and higher than the woman that gives him birth? I mean, would 16 captivities be enough to prove his godship? 1 wasn't enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 captivities. North America being the last one. He still haven't proven he was above the black woman, even with 8 captivities. He still hasn't proven he was a God in his own might. I mean, he's willing to go to fall under soulless entities just to prove he's in his own glory. And it hasn't panned out that he's a God. All that is panned out is that he's the fallen. That he's the fallen. And that he's not even living up to the capacity of a complete man, let alone a God, at 70%, as they say. They will tell you that they 70% away from the black woman. They even brag about their 70% away from the black woman. They'll brag about how the black woman is not this, how the black woman is not that, how she made them faggots, how she did this to them. They'll brag about how Eve did this to them. They all on the World Wide Web beast. Displaying their willingness to invite their enemies in some more for a night captivity if it's capable of doing that. See, because their display of all this attack on the black woman is an attack on the woman's seed itself. That's the seed that the Mashiach comes through. So he's declaring that he's not really part of the Mashiach. So he's declaring he's not of God. So if it's coming out of his mouth through his actions, I would behoove those who's questioning whether or not he's a God to look at him saying he's not. Because if he was a God, he wouldn't be attacking the Judah woman that gives birth to the Mashiach. The same Judah woman that he was born from. What God would attack his own body? What God you know would attack his own mother? What God you know would stand and tell the world that he's assisting and trampling his own mother nation? What God do you know that would say any other woman is better than the woman he came out of the womb of? What God do you know that would be willing to go into 8 captivities just to prove somehow he was a God in his own glory, separate from the black woman that gives him birth? What God do you know that'll be willing to tell all his weaknesses to all his enemies on the internet and act as if he's separate from the woman he born from as if his enemies are going to be as dumb as him and not see through him and his stupidity and attack him quicker. What God do you know would say any other woman that he doesn't see is better than the woman he sees, of the original seed he from? What God you know that would say any other rib is better than the rib that he's from? What God do you know will fight the woman that has raised him and kept him for 500 years with all kind of demonic beasts attacking her? What kind of God will be willing to take from his own nation and give to any nation that open their legs with foreign women? What kind of God you know that are willing to be vampire feeders, feed their blood to vampires over and over and over again, and then be stupid enough to say, well, we're going to annihilate the vampires by keep on feeding their blood. So as long as I stick my fallacy and give you my blood, I'm somehow annihilating you. Now really, what God do you know that's really, really, really that stupid? If the black man is God in 2013, the world better watch out. If the black man is God, the world better look at itself and ask itself, why would creation give you such a stupid, idiotic, socially retarded nation of a God? Because this God is socially retarded. If he is God, he's socially retarded. Now, a white woman kissing his boots because he's claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite on the corner don't change his social retardation. Because that's that same white woman that wanted to held him in captivity in Dred Scott and have voted for 100 years to make sure he shot in jail, and he raped in jail, and he shot in head, so she could kiss his boots right into his next captivity. She could kiss his boots, his toes, the bottom of his feet, and put him right into the next captivity, because that's what she's always done through his 8 captivities. She always saw that he was the weakest God that could ever be, the most easy manipulated, and all she got to do is to appeal to his third density, because he has no critical thinking beyond phallus and ego, because evidently the God in his heart, he fights. The God in his soul, he fights. So if the black man is God, then we understand why the world in trouble. Okay? If the black man is God, you better understand not only is the black woman in trouble, but he's the cause of the world trouble. See, because only if he is God and he let the world get in the state it's in because he wanted to be in his own glory, then the God he must be, is the God of satanic glory, okay? Because that's the only God that he matches at this particular time. Now, that's the black man, okay? Now, he's the black man because he's not with a woman that he's raising the nation with. When he's with the woman of his kind that he's raising the nation with, then he's a man, you son. he's talking about is serving Satan. If he's 70% away from the black woman, that means 70% of them is walking in a fallen state without a rib. And they're nowhere near God because they're nowhere near any kind of man. There are Satan Frankensteins, really. They're walking straight Satan Frankenstein. They're on the level of zombieism, so they can feed their blood to soulless Dracons to suck their blood and get their blood to prolong the Draconic regime of ruling the earth. Because when you look at what a real God is, it tells you in Genesis. God was made in the image of he and she. It tells you in Genesis, it's no good for a man without his rib. And it tells you in Genesis 1:11 that I made one each after his own kind. After his own kind. So, if he's not after his own kind, if he don't have his rib, and if he's not with the black female, he's nowhere near a God. And he will never reach God's status at this point. Because we're at the end of days. And there are men, black men, that are gods. But 70% to 80% are not even men, let alone gods. They're an apostate. They're an apostate that's coming to light. They're an apostate of the earth. They're an apostate of the Judah nation. They're an apostate of a black man image. They're an apostate of a fallen God. They're an apostate. They have always, in truth, been part of the Dracon soulless feeders. And that's all they are, feeders. And what happened was black women tried to see them as more than feeders. What they are is feeders, and that's what they're going to show. That's why they run with foreign women, all not like their womankind. They always been soulless feeders. They feed the souls. They feed their souls and blood to Draconic energies, so them Draconic energies can gain light and soul light that they don't have and don't belong to them. And that's what they are. They are vampires. They are the apostate in the appearance of a black man. If he's not with the black woman, he's not a true black man. And it's just that simple. He's an apostate. In 2013, if he's not with a black woman, he's an apostate. And he is part of the feeding frenzy of the Dracon souls. Not a God. This is Mary Ivy from the House of King David. Shalom.
Even with my own family, a lot of them just didn't understand addiction. Addiction is in everybody's home. And it's not to be judged at.
So like a soldier on active duty, that's how I'm living. I ain't going out like a victim. Had to rescue my lungs from the depths of switches. Cut off the shots of Patron to save my kidney and liver. This is an animal for health, a lifelong mission. I see the victory. Discipline will conquer addiction. It don't matter if the dope is from the street or prescription. My perimeter secures contraband for my system. I ain't dipping no sherm. I ain't sipping no syrup. I ain't killing myself. I love the man in the mirror. Had to put out the pot. No puff, just pass. I ain't judging nobody. I'm just clearing my path. Certain herbs is useful. It's abuse on my gift. Don't want no crutch on the battlefield. I rely on my strength. I stay in fighting condition. Focus with positive habits. Too many uncles and brothers, fathers and mothers is addicts. So I'm a soldier. I gotta be all I can be. Temptation gon' come, but I'm strong, not weak. No, I won't be a victim. I'ma stand on my feet. No retreat, no surrender. I accept no defeat. I'm a soldier. I gotta be all I can be. Temptation gon' come, but I'm strong, not weak. No, I won't be a victim. I'ma stand on my feet. No retreat, no surrender. I accept no defeat. I'm a soldier. I'm a dope boy's nightmare. Young, clean, and just don't need a hit. No cocaine or no needle fix. Breaking the cycle. cycle gotta be your own leadership. So I just say no when friends pass me the split. Daily it's an uphill battle, it's not an easy trip. Learning from mistakes in the past so not to be at risk. Already high off life. Still I know the haters is watching, wanting me to slip. When you make a positive change, people will judge you. Some will take it personal, but don't let it budge you. Fight on like a Vietnam vet, quitting heroin. My PT's my anti-drug, it's my medicine. I stay on my discipline, striving for excellence. Shining like a new recruit boots in his regiment. Through every struggle, I come out a better man. I slipped before, but I vow never again. I'm a soldier. Salute. I gotta be all I can be. Temptation gon' come, but I'm strong, not weak. No, I won't be a victim, I'ma stand on my feet. No retreat, no surrender, I accept no defeat. I'm a soldier, I gotta be all I can be. Temptation gon' come, but I'm strong, not weak. No, I won't be a victim, I'ma stand on my feet. No retreat, no surrender, I accept no defeat. I'm a soldier.
Even if a person has never had a problem with addiction, everybody has had things they've had to deal with. There are those of us that struggle with our weight on a regular basis. There are those of us that struggle with other things that we know that are dangerous for us and not helpful, lack of exercise, and other things that we should be doing that we're not doing to take care of ourselves. And what I would say to people who are out there that don't really understand that recovery is possible, don't understand addiction, please see it from this perspective. Understand that you yourself have some challenges, no matter what your walk of life is. And there are people that have been through the pains of addiction. People can actually abstain from alcohol and other drugs, and more than that, actually live lives of sobriety and success.
I make a oath to win the battle of addiction, of procrastination, of excuses, crutches. The victory is my full potential, discipline, my health, vitality, freedom. That's worth fighting for. That's worth living for.
You're going to have to ask yourself a couple of questions by the end of the program. Why would our schools leave all of the history out? I mean, this is some of the greatest American story that you've ever heard. Why would they do that? And it's everywhere. You just don't know where to look. If you take a look at the revolutionary paintings of revolutionary times, here it is. This is a Boston Tea Party. Bunch of white guys, and these people strangely looking like Indians, and they're not. But that's it. Not a lot of racial diversity. If you watch movies, one a great movie. This is John Adams. You watch John Adams, and you don't see a lot of racial diversity. I'm currently watching Johnny Tremaine. I love this movie. I remember this growing up. I was watching it with my kids just last night, and I noticed there are a couple of American Indians, but you don't see any African Americans unless they're slaves. They will show people as slaves, but that's it. I want to show you a painting of the Battle of Bunker Hill. Here's the Battle of Bunker Hill. Bunch of white guys, right? Unless you know where to look. Right here. That's Peter Salem. He was actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't battle. And he saves. Doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't battle. And he saves. Doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't battle. And he saves. Doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't battle. And he saves. Doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the battle. It doesn't battle. And he saves. Doesn't look like he's a hero there. It looks like he's cowering behind the actually the hero of the
All right, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. I was doing some things, so I just had y'all listening to some stuff before we start. The topic today is very simple. It's very simple, and y'all that want to join in, you can go on YouTube, or you can join in here on TikTok. But if you really want to join, you have to go to YouTube, or you have to go to stream, which is where I'm streaming from, stream tabs. I really wanted to talk about, is Christianity of truth or a lie? And don't seem like I'm gonna get nobody to join the topic today, so I'm probably gonna get off. But I want y'all to make sure that y'all subscribe to the African People Love Organization on YouTube so that you can join in and watch us from time to time. You know, I look forward to y'all being a part. Make sure that you come on. Make sure that you sign up, because Monday we're going to be starting our teaching. What does the Bible really say about marriage? The topic that you see behind me. What does the Bible really say about marriage? And the only reason I got that up is because that is going to be the topic for a week. We're going to get deep into marriage and see what spiritual enlightening does it have. What is the true teaching? But I really want to talk today about, is Christianity of truth or a lie? Is it of God or of man? Is it of the spirit of truth or the spirit of a lie? I'm just asking. I want to know. There's many of y'all run around here that say that y'all Christians, y'all follow Christianity. But have you ever listened to the last part of that? Anity. Now, if Christ is supposed to be God and Christianity, you say, is of Christ, why would you put anity on the end? Because that means to go against. So are you saying that you go against God? While you saying it, you deceiving those who think that they're following God. I mean, you've been telling them the truth all the time. It's just that they ain't been listening. Christianity. Anity. Against. Against. But you're still following Christianity. You're still participating in the acts of Christianity. You're still trusting in Christianity. You're still getting up every Sunday going to that Christian church that's under the title of Christianity. Why is this? Why do you not search the scriptures to see if what you're being taught is true? Why do you follow man blindly into a ditch? I say a ditch because you're stuck in a well that you can't get out of. You're down so deep you can't get out, and every time you try to get out, you're like crabs in a bucket. You got another one right there pulling you down. Not trying to help you up, trying to get up before you, and since he's trying to get up before you, he's trying to climb all over you, which makes you fall down, and he still rises right back up at the bottom. Ain't working with you. Ain't helping you, saying, stand on my shoulder, brother, and you stand on his shoulder, and you stand on his shoulder. And once you get up, then you get a rope and throw it down so we can all get up. So you know, it's hey, hey, hey. Oh, go ahead. Let me mute this for a second.